Hi everyone and welcome to the Stemettes inspiration session. We are so excited to be spending this session with you. We can wait a couple moments so everyone can get settled and get in, and then we'll start in a couple moments. Okay, great. Welcome to the Stemettes inspiration session yet again. We are so excited to be spending this time with you. I am Sarah from Team Stemettes and I'll be hosting you for this session. So great, let's get started. If you haven't heard of Stemettes before, I'm hoping you've heard of STEM. Does anyone know what STEM stands for? Give a moment to see if any answers come in. So STEM stands for, if you got it right, science, tech, engineering, and maths. So if you got it right, well done. And that's what we'll be focusing on today. So here at Stemettes, we've worked with over 50,000 young people just like yourselves, and we're on a mission to inspire the next generation of females and non-binary people into STEM fields by showing them the diversity of people already in STEM. We do this through 3 methods, so mentoring programs, where you spend up to 4 months for women in STEM, online content to help inspire and support you 24 hours a day, and events like hackathons and panels, a bit like the session we're having now and running with you today. They're all free for you to take part in, and you'll hear more about these interesting things today. So the agenda for today, we're with you for the next hour, and we've got plenty of speakers for you to hear from. They'll be telling you about their STEM journey so far and their ambitions for the future. So definitely stay tuned. As you can see at the end, we have plenty of time for questions. So if you come up with a question for these speakers, please make a note of them. If you have a specific question for a specific one, note their name down, and we'll definitely have time for them at the end. There's no such thing as silly questions, so please do ask away, and it's a great time to ask at that Q&A, so around 3:38 right there. Please do share what you learned today with us on social media. All of our @ and hashtags for the session will be at the bottom of the screen right there. So, why is it beneficial to study STEM subjects? These 6 skills that you see on the screen here, they're key for future employment, and STEM subjects are a great way to directly develop and evidence these skills. So you have collaboration, creativity, inquiry skills, problem solving, critical thinking, and design thinking. So a bit about all of those. So collaboration, big challenges are rarely solved by individuals. Working on STEM problems also involves learning to work as a productive part of a collaborative team. Then creativity, the ability to look for solutions to a problem through multiple creative approaches. In STEM, mistakes offer opportunities for deeper learning. Inquiry skills, STEM subjects require hands-on participation to solve problems. In STEM, you constantly ask questions, propose ideas, and test solutions. These skills employers love. Problem solving, so this is for you to develop quickly into your work and to make sense of problems and work productively to propose real solutions. Critical thinking, STEM requires you to analyze information, evaluate designs, and propose creative solutions. These skills are vital to becoming an independent thinker. Very important. And also design thinking, identify the problem at hand, research potential solutions, build prototypes, test, redesign, test again. This process moves you close to a functional solution. So all those are really important in STEM. And besides developing key skills for employers, there's also a massive range of STEM careers and subjects available to you. Look on the screen there, you can see there's so many. There's some examples right there, and we divided them up into different subjects. You've got science, tech, engineering, and maths right there. If you want to find out more about these careers on the screen, you can take a screenshot or you can scan that QR code right there on the left-hand side. I'll give a moment for you to do so. So many to choose from. So many options. That's the best thing about STEM. Okay, so hopefully you've got a screenshot or scan the code there. So now we know a little bit more about the importance of studying STEM. I'm going to introduce you to 4 more role models who are Stemettes alumni. So today's session is all about you and what you'd like to know about the different STEM career paths and courses. And just a reminder, we have plenty of time for questions, so please do make a note of them. If you like anything that you're hearing, you want to know more, please do ask at the end, and we'll hear from them later as well for Q&A. Yeah, without further ado, let's introduce our first speaker. So this is Alice Smith, incoming Year 12, aspiring F1 race engineer, a ranger, a young leader, girl guiding advocate, and a wheelchair basketball player. Hi, Alice.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks. Lovely to have you with us. But yeah, over to you.
So hi everyone, I'm Alice. I'm actually part of girl guiding, as you can see there. So I am from Anglia, not from the Midlands. So I'm a ranger, I'm a young leader at Rainbows and Brownies, and I'm also a girl guiding advocate doing stuff at national level. Could I have the next slide, please? So as you can see, I've always been that academic person. I've always liked maths and science. English is not my best friend. And I've always done stuff outside of school. So I was a rainbow, brownie guide, now up to ranger, playing basketball, and I've always done stuff outside of school. Just before lockdown last year, I think I went to the only in-person event and the last one that's happened with Stemettes last March with school. I got on the Stemettes Society that I think is going to be spoken about later, but I applied to take part in December Explore 2020. That was just a 2-day programme just before Christmas, so it's a lovely thing to kind of end the year on and do lots of fun STEM things. Explore, if you don't know, is kind of the programmes that Stemettes run almost every holiday except a couple, and not the summer holidays. They run a separate programme that I think Khadijah's going to talk about later called Outbox. Explore lasts a variety of lengths. I've done ones that are 5 days, 2 days, 4 days, and it's split into 3 kind of different categories. I think the majority of the people who will be watching this will be 13 and over, so it'll be in Connect or Academy. And I've got to do really cool things. I've got to network from people from lots of different companies. I've met people from the Air Force, met people from GCHQ and MI6. That was an incredible experience. And work with new people from all across the country and across the world. So I'm based near London in Hertfordshire. I've met people who are from Scotland and Wales and other places in the UK. I've also met people from Greece and India. That's been an incredible experience to see that STEM unites us all for a common cause. With my time doing Explore programs, it's improved my confidence, it's improved my team working skills. And for most, I think, Connect streams, and I think Academy do this sometimes as well. You present your project at the end of the week. So you have speed networking sessions and you have study kind of group sessions that you work on a project for. There isn't a specific brief, so you kind of got full creative control. That is something that I know I struggle with personally. So being able to work as a team for the creative element, I know really helps me, and I'm better at the technical side. So you kind of pull on each other's strengths, and then you present to about 50 odd people at the end of the week, to some really influential women in STEM. That's an incredible experience and has really, really helped my teamwork and everything else like that. It's also improved my own STEM knowledge, and it's got me involved in so many more Stemettes events. So next slide, please. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm a huge F1 fan and motorsport fan. So here, in true Alice style, is my motorsport slide. This is where I went to a girls in track event. So it's something run by the FIA at the London E-Prix. That was a couple of weeks ago. And without doing stuff with Stemettes and Explore, I never would have got to go. I never would have thought I had a place there, because it was for women in STEM in such a high profile, incredible environment. And by doing Explore programs, it kind of got me into panels, that got me into hackathons, that got me into Student STEM. That kind of led me to the position I am now. So I know that Angel will be talking about Student STEM in a bit, but it's a 4-month mentorship program with Stemettes in partnership with another organisation. I've just finished Student STEM with Mercedes. That's kind of my dream, Mercedes F1, so it's kind of my dream stuff, like my dream company to do it with. And it led me to the confidence to be accredited, to be an accredited person at a motorsport event, age of 16. That's not many people can say that. And further, that these Explore programs have boosted me to strength to strength to strength, and has put far more belief in my STEM abilities, and far more belief that I can do stuff. That's kind of led me to have these incredible opportunities. As you might have seen, I'm incoming year 12, so I've just done my GCSEs. I've got results day tomorrow. I'm absolutely bricking it. But actually, through my work with Stemettes, it's given me greater confidence in the exams and great confidence in myself. I am going to do well and I'm not going to fail everything. Next slide, please. So my advice, do the things you enjoy. Don't take an option, don't take an A-level because people are telling you to. Take an A-level, take an option because you want to do it. Because I knew personally, everyone was telling me to do French. I'm not the biggest fan of languages and I knew I was going to struggle, so I didn't. Find your fuel, find something that motivates you. For me, that's to get to my dream of being in the F1. I'm an aspiring F1 race engineer. It's probably one of the highest profile engineering jobs in the world. It's the people you hear over team radio to the drivers. And it's something that I really, really want to do. And that's what's motivating me. Look for opportunities, get involved with Stemettes, get involved with other organisations. Opportunities are the way forward. Any experience you get in anything, even if it's just a retail job, will help you in the future with those transferable skills. Apply for stuff. There's no point looking for the opportunities if you're not going to apply for them. Applying for stuff, if you don't get it, you don't get it. It's not the end of the world. You haven't lost anything by applying for things, so just do it. That led me to apply for Girls in Track, to apply for Student STEM, to apply for all sorts of stuff, and to be an advocate as well. It's given me so much opportunity and so many transferable skills that I wouldn't have without it. My last advice is stay involved in guiding. You've got a brilliant network around you with brilliant activities and opportunities for you. I think if you're in Rangers, you will know the opportunities to go international, to speak out at national level like what I've done. And even if it's just to go and volunteer at one of the activity centres and spend a week away from home, that's what I did. So I went and I was service team at Foxes a couple of weeks ago. That was a fabulous opportunity that I had because I was in guiding. So you might just see it as your however often you meet with your rangers or your guides, but actually you've got so many more opportunities. My role as an advocate means I speak out for young women like us at a national level, not just within guiding. I've been to Downing Street, I've spoken to Priti Patel just because of being an advocate. So stay involved in guiding. You might need to cut down on what you do for exams. So I know I took a step back away from brownies this time to focus on my exams, but I'm going back in September and really looking forward to help give my brownies a great opportunity and help give my rainbows. So stay involved in guiding. That's kind of it from me. I'm sure you can ask me questions later in the little Q&A bit. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle's there, and on Instagram. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, feel free to. I'm happy to answer any questions that you've got. Just ping them over on any of those, and I will try and answer them.
Thank you so much, Alice. That's amazing. And yeah, like Alice said, if you have any questions directly for her, you can put them in the chat or hold on to them for the Q&A, and we will definitely get them to her. And again, follow her on her socials. Yeah, perfect. And you can hear about any upcoming Stemettes events and programs, like Alice has mentioned, on our website here, stemettes.org. I'll leave it on the screen for a few seconds just so you can screenshot that or note that down, and you find some more exciting things on there. Great, so now on to our second speaker today. It's Angel. Hi, Angel. And Angel is content Stemette here at Stemettes, a STEM advocate and aspiring researcher. So hi, Angel.
Hi, and hi everyone. It's lovely to be here today. Yeah, I'm just here to talk to you a little bit about my STEM journey. So thank you. This is the slide I need. So I'm going to start off when I was at high school. So I started high school in 2010 and I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. Not a clue at all. When it got to picking my options, I realised, you know what, I'm just going to pick things that I think I'll enjoy. Like Alice, I didn't enjoy languages at all in the time I did it, so I didn't pick that, even though there was a push for me to do it at the time. I chose things like psychology because I found that interesting. I also did art and I did dance as well, things like that. I did take triple science, which I think is where my STEM knowledge started. So after that, I enjoyed my GCSEs and I graduated high school with 11 GCSEs and 1 BTEC. Still here, I didn't really have great career advice from my high school. They didn't really have any options that I liked. It was more apprenticeships, which apprenticeships were great, but I loved academia. So that wasn't for me. So I ended up going to college to do my A-levels. So I started at King Edward's College. I think there's a few in the Midlands. However, I went to the one in Stourbridge, and I ended up doing 3 A-levels. Still, I just picked my A-levels based on what I liked, really, what I found enjoyable. So I did biology, psychology, and sociology, as well as an EPQ, which is sort of like a little mini research project, a mini dissertation, if you will. And I did that on animal behaviour, and I really enjoyed it. I'd say 2015 was when I first started facing a bit of criticism in my STEM career. I was told I couldn't do 4 A-levels because I wasn't clever enough, even though they were all things I really enjoyed, and this set me back a bit. I was a little bit sad. However, I carried on, I pushed through, I got really good grades. Still, this was where, after doing my EPQ, I thought I really want to work with animals. I just love them. It's what I'm really passionate about. And then I knew I didn't want to be a vet though, just because there's a lot of maths involved, and that wasn't quite for me. So, and I also loved academia, so I wanted to stay in that. I didn't really have great career options at this point either. I didn't really have anyone great to help me. And I'm the first person in my family to go to university. So at this point, I was a little confused because what I thought of university. It was 5 days a week, 9 till 5, lots and lots of work. I wasn't really sure if I could do that because I had a few health problems at the time. So I finished college and I ended up doing a HND in animal management. A HND is sort of like a mini degree, so like a foundation degree, instead of going to university. When I was there, it was a lot more hands-on than I expected. Like I said, loved academia, always have. I love writing projects. I love writing things up, doing essays, researching things. So this was a little bit of a shock to me. I didn't quite anticipate it, but it was good learning experience. And I think this is my first point that I'd really like you to take away, is that it doesn't matter if you do things that you look back on and you're like, oh, wish I wouldn't have done that. It was a learning experience. I did it, and it's got me to where I am today. I know that I like a more academic role now, and if I hadn't have done that, I probably wouldn't have known. So yeah, it was a good time. But then after that, I decided, you know what, I'd really like to do a degree. So I changed to do a degree at a different college. It was a degree away from home. So I did it at a college near me in Solihull, and I did it in animal behaviour and welfare. And I really loved it. And this was what really cemented me wanting to do a career in academia. However, at this point, I was around 19, and a lot of people who were my peers had done things like, you know, set out CVs that they wanted. They'd had mentors, they'd had different jobs, they'd have different experiences. And I wasn't really there yet. I was a little bit lost. I didn't really have the confidence at all. And I also didn't know anyone else who was doing what I wanted to do. So little old me got online. I started Googling, and I found STS. So STS is Stemettes Student to Stemet program. It's a mentoring program, and you can join if you're between the ages of 15 and 25. So it's a big age range, and I was pretty much bang in the middle. I had a quick call after signing up, and I joined, and they found me a mentor. Her name was Stacey, and she was brilliant. She did exactly what I wanted to do, and she was a really, really great role model. It was lovely to meet her. The first time I met her, it was amazing, and I still speak to her today, 3 years on. She's helped me with a lot. She helped me create a really good CV. She helped me reach out to people and network. She helped me with my dissertation, which was very lovely of her, as she'd done animal research, and that was what my dissertation was. So that was brilliant. And I had a great time doing my degree, and I don't think it would have been half as good without my mentor, without Stemettes. So recently, I'd say a year ago, 2020, I graduated with the first, and I sat down afterwards. I was looking back on things. It was in the middle of quarantine, so I had a lot of time to reflect, and I was thinking, I really, really, really appreciate what Stemettes has done for me. It was a really great experience. So I'd reached out and offered my help, and Anne-Marie, the CEO, said, yeah, we'd love your help. I helped during Outbox last year, which I think Khadija is going to speak about next. And after that, I had an internship at Stemettes. And then after that, I'm now here for part-time, but I now have a job here as content Stemet, and I absolutely love it. I'm hoping to carry on with my content Stemet job, and I'd love to focus on my research a bit more as well. So that's a little background about me. If we could go to the next slide, please. Lovely, thank you. So here's just a few top tips from what I've said. So first of all, don't be afraid to reach out to others that you look up to. If you think you have something to benefit from it, and you think they could help, what's the worst that could happen? You'll just get a no, and that's okay. But honestly, if they do say no, they're probably not the best person for you to speak to anyway. Next is show your gratitude. I think this one's really important, just because sort of linking to the first point, you have to let people know that you're grateful for what's happened, what you've done with them. I think that's really useful, and it's got me where I am today. So I think that's a big point. It makes people want to still talk to you and grow a relationship with you. A lot of people who I've been grateful to network with, I still network with today. So that's a really useful tip. Next is to go with the flow, because things never go to plan. Things didn't go to plan for me, and honestly, I'm glad about this, because I couldn't be happier with where I am today. Next thing is to get yourself a mentor. Like I said earlier, this was the best thing that I could have possibly done. And it got me everything I wanted. And then the last tip is follow your heart, because I've had a lot of people trying to tell me what was best for me in every stage of my life. And it's only you who knows what's best for you. So if you follow your heart, you'll never be unhappy. And that's all from me. So I'll hand back over to Sarah.
Thank you so much, Angel. That was so nice. I love that last little quote you said there. That was beautiful. And if anyone has any questions for Angel specifically, keep on to them, and remember to put them in the chat or hold on to them for later when we have our Q&A. You want to find out more about the program Angel mentioned, STS or Student to Stemettes. You can find out about it on the website there, stemettes.org/STS or stemettes.org/associates, which is another mentoring program also. Great. Screenshot that if you can. It's gone now, but it'll be back soon. We have Khadija next. Khadija here is a book lover, tech enthusiast, and super Stemette who's soon to be starting year 12. So welcome. Good to have you, Khadija.
Hi, so I'm Khadija, and I'm all of the things that Sarah just read. So yeah, since I was small, if you can move on the next slide, Lucy. Thank you. So from when I was small, I've loved maths a lot. Like when I was like in year 4, I remember wanting to be a mathematician so much. I was like, yeah, this is so cool. I want to do times tables and addition for the rest of my life. But then I realized that maths is a little bit more than that, but it's still just as interesting. But yeah, about me and my journey into STEM, I'd say it began a little bit more recently. So at the beginning of lockdown, I was in year 10 and I discovered Stemettes when I had a lot of work. I had a really big workload because I was in year 10 and GCSE had just been scrapped for the previous year 11. So all of the teachers put their focus on us. But unlike a lot of other students, I didn't feel very disadvantaged by the lack of face-to-face learning. And instead, I really thoroughly enjoyed being able to manage my own schedules and timings. I guess you could say that Stemettes was like an extra hobby that I picked up over lockdown, and it did fill in for the social interaction that I felt that I was missing from my normal everyday life of what it used to be like before COVID and lockdown and all of the restrictions that got put in place. So I decided to join the Stemettes Society after joining the STEM module sessions, which were really fun over lockdown. And I joined the society and I spent loads of time on the society, just like looking through the different opportunities and connecting with other people. And those people, some of them have become really close friends to me. So I think that Annabella is going to talk about the society in a bit. It's such a great opportunity. So on the society, I remember when I saw Outbox was first posted in this just before the summer started, and I thought, oh, that's so cool. And I signed up for Outbox, and then since then I've done 2 courses in cyber, and I've done Outbox with Stemettes, and I've hosted some of the Connect sessions over Easter, and I've been a guest speaker at loads of their different panels and events, and I've also become a super Stemette as well, which has been a really nice opportunity for me as well. So if you could move on to the next slide. Thanks. So Outbox, it's a summer program that Stemettes host, and it's got 2 lots of 2-week sprints. So you can choose whether you want to just join for 2 weeks or whether you'd want to join both sprints and join for 4 weeks. So it's split into 3 streams. So you get Junior and Connect and Academy. And since you're all probably 13 and above, then you'd either pick Connect or Academy the same way it worked with Easter Explore, like Alice explained. And basically, if you join Connect, then you'll have daily talks from industry professionals, and then you'll be able to work on a project in a group with a few other people who are, and a few other girls who are similar age, and you can do a research project or you can do a design project, and you get to choose what you want to do it on and how you want to present it, whether you're making a website or you're making a PowerPoint or you're actually going to make something or draw something. You get to choose exactly how you want to do it in your groups. And then in Academy, you can do a certification. So you can either do something on Python, or you can do something on cybersecurity, or you can do a project similar to Connect, and it'll just be with a couple of older people instead. And then you get talked through the modules by professionals from the industry, and then you get to have Q&As with them, and you'll get the chance to network with them as well. And you have speed networking sessions. It's so much fun. You just spend your time from like maybe like around 8 o'clock till like 4 o'clock if you decide to join the downtime sessions, and you've got loads of breaks in between. And in regards to my experience with Outbox, when I joined Outbox last year, I decided that I was going to do a project. So me and the other people in my team, we were in Academy, and we decided that we wanted to do a project over certification. So we decided to do a project on creativity and diversity in like the STEM workplace. And we thought that that was a really important topic that not many people talked about, because people don't tend to link like art or English and just creativity in general with STEM, because some people think that STEM is just it's all just like right and wrong, like it's just maths or it's just like hardcore science, but actually it's a lot more than that. And if you mix things up by being more creative, then you end up with better ideas, and you create more interesting products that more people want to use. If anyone wants to check out the project, then I've put a link on the slides that Lisa can post in the chat. But that project was actually really successful. When we presented it to everybody on the last day of Outbox, then the sponsor from Virgin Galactic, Katie, she really enjoyed it, and she asked if we could present it to their team at Virgin Galactic, which was a really amazing opportunity, because you don't really get to just talk to industry leaders just out of the blue, especially when I was 15, and that was a really amazing opportunity for me and the others in my group, for us to be able to not just present to industry leaders, but also connect with them, network with them, talk with them, and ask them any questions that we had, and also answer their questions, and be able to teach people even older than us about something that we'd spent our summer researching about. So I would definitely recommend for all of you to join Outbox. It's so much fun, and it's not a waste of time, and you feel like you're using your summer instead of just sitting and doing nothing at all. If you could move on to the next slide. So yeah, that's pretty much everything from me in regards to Outbox. And I'd say my tips or advice would be that to take opportunities as they come, because you never know which one will come your way. I think both Angel and Alice have both said the same thing, that opportunities, you don't just wait for them to come, you've got to go looking for them yourself, and looking for opportunities yourself. It builds on your like own confidence too, because then you're making that first step, and it's like taking it when you've got to take a big breath and take a step forward into doing something new that you might not have decided to do normally. So like I joined Outbox because it sounded cool, even though I'd never joined a summer program before. That was the first summer program I've ever done in my life. But I'm so glad I joined it. It was like an amazing opportunity that I got from it. And even just the program itself is an amazing opportunity, being to talk with that many people and making that many new friends. And then my other piece of advice would be to not be too hard on yourself, because sometimes it can be really hard to make a decision. And then when you finally make a decision, then you might doubt yourself and wonder whether it was the right path to take or the wrong path to take. But if you make a decision and then stick to your guns, whether or not the outcome was the best one you could have ended up with, you should think of it as a learning opportunity to help you with your future choices. Like Angel said, that even though some people discouraged her from doing certain things, she did them. And even though it might not have turned out the way that she imagined it would, it turned out a different way, but she was glad that it turned out that way, because life just tends to take different paths. And in the end, you're glad about everything that happens, because everything will turn out the way that you want it to. So that's my main piece of advice. Thanks for having me. Yeah, back to Sarah.
Thanks so much, Khadija. That was brilliant. Nice to hear from you. If anyone has any questions for Khadija specifically, remember to keep hold of them and put them in the chat now, or wait for the Q&A. You want to find out more about Outbox, the event that Khadija mentioned, and you want to get involved in the next one, that's the link there, stemettes.org/outbox. Would love to see you there. So next up, we have Annabelle. So Annabelle is an incoming Year 13 student studying maths, further maths, economics, and computer science. But yeah, it'd be great to hear from you, Annabelle.
Hi everyone. So I'm Annabelle, and as you can see, I'm a Year 13 student in September. I'm also a current Stemettes Society member, which is what I'll be talking about today. Next slide, please. So why did I choose STEM, and what's my journey been so far? So from a young age, like Khadija, I always enjoyed maths. I liked how definitive it was, and there's either a right or a wrong answer. But as I got older, I was exposed to a wider range of STEM subjects, and I fell in love with computer science when I started Scratch, which is a basic programming language. For me, it's the perfect mix of creativity and logical reasoning. STEMs also allowed me to find a community of people just like me, and joining Stemettes Society was by far the best thing I've done. I've met some amazing friends through their society and had the opportunity to improve my skills in areas such as coding and cybersecurity through their camps. STEMs also provided me with incredible opportunities. I've been able to meet people from all around the world and take part in the summer programs and explore with Stemettes. I've also been able to take part in hackathons, which is something a year ago I'd never imagined myself doing. I even got to do the Deutsche Bank one, where I was the only high schooler on the team. It was a little intimidating at first, but everyone's so friendly and supportive. And like everyone else has said, I've learned that a massive part of STEM is putting yourself out there and wanting to try new things. And I think the Stemettes Society is an amazing platform on getting you to that point and helping you develop those skills to be able to do that. So next slide, please. So why join the Stemettes Society? The society is open to young women aged 13 to 25 interested in STEM. This means you have the opportunity to meet so many other interesting individuals from all stages in their STEM journey. If you have any questions or you want to do an activity or something, I guarantee you someone is likely to have been in your shoes at some point and will be more than happy to guide you and give you advice. This means you'll also have the opportunity to network and get to know people in a more professional sense as well, gaining connections in the industry, which when you're looking for work experience and internships is invaluable. It's been so helpful for me. I know people have posted things and I've been able to take part in what they've done. So also the society has Super Stemettes, who are members that welcome new members into the society, run events, and are just a friendly face all around if anyone has any queries or needs pointing in the right direction. They're also there to give advice and just help out in general. So my personal favourite thing about society is all of the opportunities available. So there's programs run by the Stemettes, such as Explore and Outbox, which you've heard before, the mentoring schemes, but also members post about opportunities run, like hackathons and talks. I've had the opportunity to take part in both Stemettes organised and not, and they are like just the most amazing things you can do. You learn so much, gain so many skills, network with people in the industry, and you just are able to form like these connections that I never would have been able to do if I hadn't joined the Stemettes Society. So also you get the ability to gain professional qualifications. So the Explore and the Outbox, you can gain the qualifications you can use to apply for universities and jobs. So I've got some in cybersecurity and Python programming, but there's so many more. I haven't had the opportunity to take them yet, but I really want to, like Agile and leadership, which are incredible, and they really set you apart when you're looking to do anything professional. So next slide, please. So when you join the society, you'll have access to the Stemettes platform, which is, I've taken a screenshot of what I see when I log on. You're able to message society members and can join spaces where posts are specifically catered towards your interests. So I'm pretty sure I'm in the maths one, work experience, and it's an amazing way to have all these posts like catered directly towards what you're looking for and what you need for your stage in the STEM journey. It's the most incredible resource, and I genuinely couldn't recommend joining society enough. And I can't wait to see you all on there. So next slide, please. Thank you so much for listening, and I really hope you guys will consider joining the society.
Great, thank you so much for that, Annabelle. And yes, it'll be lovely for all of you to join the society. It'll be perfect to see everyone on there. And so we'll have some links for that to come up on the screen soon. There we go. So you can put your application for the society today. And that is a link there. So bit.ly/Stemettes Society. And we'd love to get you involved with that. So yeah, thank you to our speakers for coming on and speaking to us today. We now have our Q&A. This is the time for all of your questions to come flooding in after what you've heard, and anything you want to ask away, please do. I know there has been some questions already. We can get started straight away, excitingly. And this one is for Alice. So Alice, what made you want to get into F1 in the first place? How would you suggest to create links with teams? And also, what is your favourite F1 team and driver?
Yes, I think the easiest one is team and driver. I'm a Mercedes girl, not the biggest fan of Red Bull, so I know to support Lando and George. I'm hoping George goes to Mercedes. I think I'm going to go backwards order on these ones. I think, how would you suggest to create links with teams? I would say go through the structured programs, like ones Stemettes have run with Mercedes, or I know Williams have a great work experience program. I wouldn't just go spamming random people of their employees off LinkedIn, because I know there are people who have, but then you'll just be remembered as being an annoying person. If you do find an opportunity with a team, I know McLaren have just launched, I think, a year paid engineering internship for people who have just finished their degree or have got a degree level qualification in engineering. Just don't go by the formal routes, I would say, but also put yourself out there, be active on LinkedIn, and be a nice person. They're not going to want to go for someone. You might be the best at whatever field you want to go into. You might be the best marketeer ever, but if you're horrible to work with, you're not going to survive very well in the race team or even just in the office. So I think definitely consider that. I think what made me want to get into F1 in the first place, throwing it right back, when I was little, F1 was the only thing that didn't make me cry. And watching it on the BBC with Jake Humphries, David Coulthard and Eddie Jordan is something that I still remember now. And when I thought that Monaco was the best track in the world, any F1 fans would know it's the most boring one of the season, but it had a tunnel. And when you're 3, tunnels are quite exciting. So I think as I grew up, I kept watching it. I kind of fell out of love with it when it went on to Channel 4, but I did really get back into it, like back end of last season and this season. I understand the technicalities more, and it's kind of made me fall in love with it. The drivers, the technical side, and just the action as well. My big thing is getting more people into sport and STEM, and what completely kind of sums sport and STEM up beautifully is F1. So that's kind of where my love for it comes from and why I want to go and work in F1.
Great, thank you so much. And for all of you, actually, there's a question that's come through. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to work in STEM but isn't sure of the specific career they would like to do yet? I'm going to go with Khadija first. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to work in STEM but they're not really sure of what specific career?
Yeah, well, I guess the first thing is you've got to look at the 4 main things. Like you've got your math, engineering, science, and maths. Which one do you enjoy the most? Which aspects of it do you enjoy the most? Is there any that you don't like? Maybe like if you're going to look at careers, then make sure that if there's something that you don't like, it's not got that thing in. Otherwise, you're going to hate your job on a daily basis. and then maybe look at if you're going to get a career in something, then make sure you've got something on the side. So either a qualification like an A-level, a GCSE, a degree, or even just stuff that shows that you're interested in it. So maybe if you took a course on Cisco or something like that, then it shows that you were interested in it and that you tried actively to get into that area. And yeah, maybe if you don't have an idea right now, but you do know that it's definitely going to be in STEM, then take one of the STEM subjects that you enjoy the most. That way it keeps your options a bit open when looking for other stuff. So if you have skills that are applicable in lots of different jobs, then employers will want to employ you more, rather than if you have really specific, like if you just decide to get a degree in something really specific, then it's not really going to help you. Whereas something that's a bit more generic, something like maths, is quite applicable to most careers, then are open more doors for you.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. And how about you, Annabelle? Do you have any advice? It might be similar, it might be different, and to someone who's not really sure about what career in STEM.
Yeah, so I'm in a bit of a similar situation. I know I like computer science a lot, but I don't know like which job specifically. So I think it's just about trying loads of different things. I've done like software engineering, work experience, pen testing, things like that. Just trying a wide range of things, seeing what clicks, what doesn't, what you could see yourself doing. And I mean, there's no pressure to choose anything early. You can always switch. I know my schools really emphasize that, is that even like if you're like 10 years into your career, you can, if you don't like enjoy it, you can switch for sure. And like you can always learn new things. So I'd say like, yeah, definitely what Khadija said with the certifications, just showing general interest will get you so far, if you're genuinely interested in what you're trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And Angel as well, I know you mentioned earlier in your talk how your journey, it changed and your mind changed as well. And did you have any doubts like along the way about where you'd end up or what you wanted to do?
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of doubts, especially when I think when you're younger, it can seem like everyone has their life set out ahead of them and you're like, I don't know what I want to do. But I think it's important to just try everything. Every opportunity, just say yes to it, go and look for new opportunities. Because I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that you realize that's not a thing that you want to do. And that's good, you know. And also I think most jobs I've come across or had in the past, it's been that they accept any STEM background. So even if you have a background in a little bit of STEM that is maybe different to what you want to do in the future, it's more than likely still applicable. So yeah, don't disregard anything that you've done or you want to do. It's all useful at the end of the day. So I think that's all.
Great. Thank you so much for those answers, everyone. It's really, really encouraging, I'm sure, for me and for everyone watching. So yeah, I have a question as well for all of you. What is your most favorite part of your day? So it could be to do with STEM or it just could be to do with anything that you do. What's your most favorite part of your day? I can see all the thinking happening.
Okay. I would say that. Yeah. I would say that mine would just be when I get to just sit and do nothing. Sitting and doing nothing is a very underrated thing. I think a lot, especially when you end up having loads of things on your plate, like loads of things to do, and you have like 5 assignments, and you've got to help your mom, and you have so many things to do. Then actually being able to just sit on your bed and do absolutely nothing is a really nice thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. Rest is very, very important. It may seem, for me anyway, sometimes it seems boring because I like being out and doing stuff and being active. I'm like, no, I don't want to sit down. But then you need those days just to kind of like relax, rejuvenate, and then go again. So yeah, I definitely agree. How about you, Alice? What's your favorite part of the day?
I think it's quite a hard one. It's definitely not getting up in the morning. I can tell you that as a definite. I think when I'm in school, I quite like when I can just come home, chill out for a bit, but then also get on with some really meaningful work that you sometimes can't do within the school environment. Saying that, I haven't been in school for over 10 weeks now because I left for year 11. So I think currently I'm just quite enjoying just exploring new places if I can, and if not, just finding like a not very known but brilliant Netflix series that I think is a very underrated moment. Yeah, I think my days at the moment are very varied. I don't really have much structure because of Corona and everything else like that. But I think realizing you found something good is always a lovely moment.
Yeah, definitely. And so speaking about school and work, like how do you balance work and kind of like relaxation time or downtime? What's your balance there?
For me?
Yeah.
I think for some things you have to. I know I've got lots of disabilities. That means I have to rest. If not, I'm in hospital. That I want to avoid. But I think making sure you've planned out your day. I know I get into school. It's like I get in school at 8 a.m. for an 8:40 start. So I know I have those 40 minutes of in the morning for whatever I want to do. I find that really helpful. Whether I just want to go through some flashcards, plan out my week, that's good. But also making sure you're coming home and you are relaxing. So I try and have an hour and a half between when I get home before I start more work, just to have a drink and chill out and kind of reflect on my day, because I know that if something's big happened and I haven't fully processed it, it's going to haunt me for the rest of the week. So that for me, there's reflection is important, but also making sure you can clear your mind. That's kind of how I balance it the most.
Great, thank you. And how about you, Angel? I know you're part of Team Stemettes, so you have the Stemettes lifestyle. How do you balance work and, let's say, play?
Oh, that's a good one. I think I'm very much of a planner. I love having things set out. I love time blocking. And I think just blocking in a little bit of time for yourself throughout the day and after your day is done. Especially working from home, it's nice to get time where I'm outside in nature, spending time with my dog, things like that. Yeah, I think for me, it's planning it in, because if I don't plan it in, it probably won't get done. Because I think we can all sacrifice what we know is best for us sometimes. So yeah, it's just making sure it gets done, because once you do it, you feel so much better.
Definitely agree. Thank you for that. This is great. Thank you for all your answers, and keep the questions coming in. It's lovely to hear from you as well if you're watching. I have a very important question to ask. At Team Stemettes, we do love talking about food, so we can't have a session without food, a topic of food. So my question for you all is, if you had to eat 2 things for the rest of your life, what would they be? I'm going to start with Annabelle first.
I don't think I definitely go like barbecue food and then roast dinners. Like, I know in my house it's like one of the 2 on a Sunday night. And I genuinely can't live without either. So yeah, definitely those 2. And it's like a range.
Yeah, that's the best combination. I want to be invited to your house. That's amazing. How about you, Khadija?
Well, like Annabelle, I absolutely love barbecue, but my top would probably be like a good steak. I love steak. It's like my favorite food. Like, I love it. But I'd probably die of like high cholesterol or something. But yeah, that would be my top food. And then after that, I would probably say pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, nice. Oh, that sounds really nice, actually. It's a good combination. You have dessert, you have, yeah.
It's like the only cake I can make.
I love that. How about you, Angel?
For me, I think it would be chips, definitely. Versatile, go with everything. And also a little bit of a weird one, crispy M&Ms. Not the other ones, just the crispy ones.
Ah, chips and M&Ms forever.
Very unhealthy, but yeah.
I love that. I love that. And Alice, have you had a chance to think?
I think you asked me this question last week, but I'm going to say a different set of answer. I'm going to say kebabs and halloumi. Like kebab shop kebabs, very underrated.
I love that. I love the variety in the answers there. This is great. Okay, so we have to have time for one more question. My question for all of you is going to be, who are your role models? If you have a couple, it'll be good to know them. Annabelle, yeah, I see you thinking.
So I'm on the STS mentoring scheme at the moment, and I'm paired up with, she's called Kaylee, and she's amazing. We're really similar. We ended up doing the I think it's the MBTI test or something like that, and we both got the same one.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's just so nice. Definitely look up to her because she's in computer science, so she went through uni degree as well. And yeah, it's just really nice to have someone to talk to, and she's where I want to be when I'm her age. So yeah, I definitely look up to her a lot.
That's amazing, and it's so good to hear that the program is serving you really well. So it's amazing. Khadija, do you have any role models?
Recently I was actually looking into like different people from the past who have done a lot of things, and I think one people from like a cultural perspective as well. She's called Fatima Al-Fihri, and she like founded like the first university in I think Morocco, but that university is still there today, and I think that's really cool. So
yeah, that is really, really cool. I must search that up and have a look at that. It sounds really amazing. And Alice, who are your role models?
I've got three main ones. The first one is Claire Williams, who was deputy team principal at Williams F1 team until they sold the team last September. She was a real trailblazer. And then two who are currently still in F1. So Bernadette Collins, who is head of strategy for Aston Martin, used to be Racing Point, and Ruth Buscombe, who is head of strategy for Alfa Romeo Sauber. And they're two really pivotal women on the pit lane who have such incredible roles in strategy that trackside engineering and F1 is such a male-dominated industry, and they make some really important and good calls on the pit wall.
That's amazing. I love hearing about strong women in STEM. It's amazing. And Angel, who are your models?
Oh, role models is a tough one, but I can definitely tell you who inspires me. And not just saying it because I work at Stemettes, but all the people I meet at Stemettes inspire me. I love seeing people my age, older, younger, especially younger, doing what they're doing, carving out their own paths, making a difference. It inspires me to carry on doing that as well. So yeah, I think just everyone I meet here.
Oh, that's such a lovely way to end the session. Thank you, Angel. And thank you again for all of you here to share with us your stories and some advice. It's been amazing hearing from each and every one of you. And thank you to you at home, wherever you are watching. Thank you for joining our session and for all your questions coming in. We hope you found it useful. And yeah, a massive thank you to Girl Guiding Midlands for organising the session and having us with you today. So if you like what you heard about today, you can continue to find out more about the topics the speakers spoke about today on the Stemettes zine, so there it is on the screen for you. It's a free resource for students to learn more about STEM and discover new STEM role models. We cover everything from AI to quantum physics to biomedical engineering to interview advice and how to be productive. So I recommend you taking a little look at the Stemettes zine if you're curious about anything related to STEM or looking into career advice or studying advice. And so we have some opportunities coming up here, so you can join us on the 18th to 19th of September for Coding Creativity Weekend for the Midlands, and join us to learn a new skill and get creative. And we also have October Explore, Explore was mentioned earlier, and that's a program offering an opportunity to gain industry recognised qualifications in cybersecurity or Python. And some more info about that would be on stemettes.org right there. So it'd be good to have you there as well. And as I mentioned at the beginning, please do share what you've learned today on social media. We're all here on our apps here at Stemettes on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Have a hashtag as well at the bottom of the screen. We'd love to see what you thought, and if you could share it with your audience as well, that would be amazing. Thank you again for having us, Girl Guiding Midlands, and thank you for letting us take over this session. And thank you for listening. It's been great. See ya.